Hello everyone and welcome back to the Salino channel. Now in yesterday's video we were discussing whether or not the new Dominion Biosyn expansion for Jurassic World Evolution 2 should be free, and briefly in that video I touched on, how good the DLC is for value. Now I'm not going to try and speak or carry on too much because obviously I do have to make a video out of this, but more or less, the DLC comes with a whole bunch of content including dinosaurs, skins, and an entirely new building theme. But before we get into it, this is actually my 100th video on YouTube that's public. I do have more, but obviously for numerous reasons they're not on YouTube. But yeah, this is a big milestone for me, so if we could potentially... I'm not going to set a like goal or anything like that, but if we could just get as much support on this video as possible, it'd mean the world to me. As, this journey's been amazing and we're not stopping here, so, show some support and let me know you're enjoying the videos. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So as I said at the beginning, the Dominion Biosyn expansion comes with several new dinosaurs, several new skins, a new Chaos Theory, as well as a new map. I should also like to mention that the DLC's retail value is about £16, which I believe is around $20. I'm not too sure on currencies, but I'll leave some form of indication in the description to that if you are curious. So the DLC comes with 4/5 new species if you want to count the reskin for the Giga, but these species as of right now are the Pyroraptor, Therizinosaurus, Dimetrodon and Quetzalcoatlus. And I say as of right now because there is potential that we're getting a free DLC which will include, all the dinosaurs that are missing from this DLC, such as the Atrociraptor, Lystrosaurus, Oviraptor, etc, etc. But yeah, in terms of the dinosaurs and new species, I'd say that it's pretty decent for value in addition to all the content that we've got coming as well. But for the dinosaurs themselves, I'd say that this DLC is pretty good for value because it means that technically speaking every dinosaur is in itself worth about £4, which in the grand scheme of things seems quite expensive, but you're forgetting the fact that the Quetzalcoatlus is the first and only large flying reptile in the game. The Therizinosaurus likewise, it's the only dinosaur that's sort of got the claws, etc. It's it's not like there's another dinosaur like that, so it is unique. Likewise with the Dimetrodon and Pyroraptor being the only dinosaur that in it, without reskins, is the only dinosaur in the game that has feathers. And I want to point out that I know that these skins are obviously based off of the movie, but they just look absolutely stunning for a video game, especially the feathers. It's sometimes a hard thing to tackle in video games, but I feel like from the images we've seen, they do look pretty damn good. And in the description for the Quetzalcoatlus, it does actually say that to house it in game modes such as Challenge Mode or Chaos Theory, you will actually need several aviaries, which, means that it is likely to scale. And if you've seen it in the trailers, you know that in terms of scale, it's pretty big for a flying reptile. But it will definitely be interesting to see how they tackle it with the aviary, because as we know, a medium flying reptile just about fits out of the entrance, so when you've got a Quetzalcoatlus flying reptile that's going to require several, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. So in terms of dinosaurs for value, I'd say that it's pretty good. I know that obviously this DLC is much more than just dinosaurs, so to say that the dinosaurs in themselves make up for that £16 price tag, it's pretty ambitious, but I feel like considering all the doors this opens, the Quetzalcoatlus could potentially mean stuff like the Hatzegoptrix in the future. It's pretty good for value. And of course, if you've been following the channel, you'll know that I personally love the Quetzalcoatlus, so there could be some personal bias there, but, let's just for continuity say there's no bias. And in terms of skins, when you go on the Jurassic World Evolution 2 website, it says we're rolling out 2 new skins for a T-Rex, a Scar 2022 version, as well as a feathered version, which is definitely exciting. The new Giganotosaurus variant, modelled after its appearance in Jurassic World Dominion. Finally, we're adding a new 2022 skin for the Dilophosaurus and 3 film-based skins for Parasaurolophus. So technically speaking, there's 8 skins. I've also forgot to mention the Dreadnoughtus, which is being described as even bigger, and we know that it was so big that when you hatch it in the game, you can only hatch one at once, which is insane to think that it's even bigger now. So in terms of actual dinosaur content, that means we're getting 4 new species in addition to 6 new skins, as well as 2 brand new variants for our dinosaurs. And honestly, if that were the DLC, just that, I'd be relatively happy, because that is quite a lot of content. I know that might not necessarily fit the margin of £16 for you, but I'd say that is quite a lot of content considering how much content Frontier have dropped in the past in DLCs. But of course, that's not all. We do have the new Chaos Theory, and I will read the description that is also on the Jurassic World Evolution 2 website right now. Jump into a completely new and immersive campaign and discover the rise of Biosyn Valley. You'll be taking control of Biosyn Valley's research compound, soon to be seen in Universal Pictures, and Amblin Entertainment's Jurassic World Dominion, constructing it through multiple stages as you play. You'll be working alongside familiar and iconic characters from across the franchise, including Claire Dearing, Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Eddie Sattler, and Lewis Dodson. Much like InGen, Biosyn also extracts dinosaur DNA from amber. You'll be sending scientists deep into the earth beneath the valley to extract amber-encased DNA and build up your dinosaur genomes. As the valley research compound expands, you'll get to use all new gameplay features introduced in the DLC. An underground hyperloop transportation network which will move people back and forth. All your dinosaurs are safely kept behind invisible fences. New buildings, vehicles and decorations will also be available to use in sandbox mode. The new Biosyn Valley map is also playable in sandbox mode with both normal and flattened terrain options. The normal terrain option will keep the research compound as a visual part of the map, whereas flattened terrain will remove it. So there is actually quite a lot in terms of the chaos theory. I'm not going to read that out because I'm currently extremely lost for breath from reading that absolutely humongous paragraph, but yeah, there's quite a lot of content here, especially for £16 as I say, and you know, it's just crazy to think that we're getting a chaos theory, new dinosaurs, new buildings, new sandbox map, just a crap load of content. I don't really know if the chaos theory is going to coincide with the film in, you know, certain regards of if the storyline's similar, but from what we know of the new chaos theory level, basically there'll be people that come into your valley as you expand with all your new dinosaurs, and basically try to take your dinosaurs, which, you know, sounds a bit savage, but, you know, also sounds fun and like good gameplay, so I'm looking forward to it. As of right now, we don't actually have too much information on the chaos theory, so it's definitely going to be something to look forward to. If I did have more information, I would tell you, but considering that it's a new chaos theory, I reckon it will take, I'm going to say, hopefully it's not as hard as the Jurassic World one, but I reckon it will take a solid 30 minutes bare minimum, which is still quite a lot of gameplay, as well as, you know, us getting to actually use the Dominion Biosyn Valley map in sandbox. But that does cover just about everything that costs money in the Dominion Biosyn expansion. If you want me to, you know, cover everything that's free, I can do that in another video for you lot, but generally speaking, I'd say this DLC is really good for value considering how expensive the other ones were in comparison to how much content we're getting in the Biosyn expansion. I'd say that it's really good from Frontier to be doing this, despite the fact that maybe this DLC should have been free. So in terms of value for money, I'd probably give it about a 10 out of 10, and that's probably too much, but, you know, I'm really excited for this DLC, I'm really excited for Dominion, so, you know, it just seems like a match made in heaven, and we are, of course, getting a crap load of content. But that is all for today's video. If you have enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, as it lets me know you're enjoying the videos. And if you have made it this far, I'm going to say, comment Quetzalcoatlus. You know, I like the Quetzalcoatlus, so it makes sense. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next one.